And we are back after a potential technical snafu. I'm not sure how much you missed, if anything, but we've basically been bickering for price and come up with a couple of clues. We've got Castana in the library. We've got Sanyo in a tavern right now. He is talking to a lady in a tavern who now believes him about a curse. And that lady happens to be this lady, Rin O'Kill. And she is actually taking your curse talk seriously. And back to it, she asks you, Sanyo, why are you asking about such curses?
I am just interested at the moment in the ideas of supernatural, that there is something beyond what we see.
She smiles in that at that and says, "Oh, so you are enlightened to the fact that these myths and curses actually exist. What what brings you to such a conclusion?"
Let us go with an open mind.
My mind is always opened.
You said you knew something of magic?
Magic. I the there are there are ancient magics that the world has forgotten about, or in the case of Tuska, perverted. Driven people away through fear and through servitude and obedience. What what
Can you point me in the direction of such secrets, then?
She says, "I come with me, we'll speak more privately." And yeah, she takes you
Sanyo goes with the mysterious woman
okay, yeah,
Who compares it?
to a secret location.
she kind of guides you out the bar and to a small shack built into like the riggings between ships. We'll say hereabouts. And it's 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 your typical witch's shack. It's very small. There's a fire. There's a stew boiling on a fireplace.
Hmm.
The walls are just filled with things that you have no idea what some are or what they do or what purposes, but it's dark and mysterious. Many
Hmm.
smells and fragrances. And yeah, she says, "I so you got yourself cursed. Let's have it. What is this curse you be talking about?"
Why would you say that I am cursed?
Because when a man comes talking of curses with such interest, they must at least believe they have.
Note that Sonia was looking for information about magic and the supernatural, not specifically curses.
Okay. That's a good point. So what is it you wish to know about these ancient magics and curses?
I am wondering of items imbued with such abilities, powers. I will tell you that I have seen a glowing skull.
A glowing skull. Tell me, did this skull glow purple?
Perhaps.
At this, she will actually like grab at one of your wrists.
If you try and dodge, then you've already given up the.
How's she grabbing at me?
It's not like a violent thing. She's like grabbing at your arm and like pulling your sleeve up.
Sonia will allow her to do that.
She says, "I you have seen the you have you possess the curse of the god of the underworld, the lord of the underworld. You found the skull."
Perhaps. You have heard of this then?
She says, "I in legend passed down from my grandfather to his grandfather and from his grandfather before the time of the the Tuscan's crusade upon our homeland. They they came and they took the holy relics from our great temple, and then they just left. And
Sonia will switch to Al Shikeki,
okay.
your homeland.
Ah, our homeland. I see it in you now. What?
So you're saying that you are very familiar with this specific curse.
I'd not say very familiar. Now I'm Scottish for some reason. She says I'd not say I am very familiar, but I've heard of it. You,
And do you know how such curses are lifted?
of course, you you must appease him. All they want is their idols back.
And do you know what was stolen from our people?
She nods solemnly and says, Your education of your people, of your people's history is woefully lacking. They they took the idols of the great the great dragons of the world, as well as the almighty lord of the underworld, to whom
Sorry, could you repeat that?
oh
Idol, something idols, dragons,
okay
Lord of the Underworld.
they they took the idols of the four great dragons of the world, as well as the 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 skull of the great lord of the underworld, to whom we all shall eventually serve.
I see. So, do you know what happened to these items?
She actually shakes her head at that. No, once they left, all knowledge of their location has slipped away from time. The the legends say that they took them back to their masters in to the churches of Tuska. But after that, she shakes her head. We've we've no idea where they went. This is this is the first resurfacing of such an item that I've heard of.
I see.
But but to lift the curse, you must return all the idols to the great lord of the underworld.
Okay, and do you perhaps have more information on this sort of thing in general? I I have thought all such things to be superstition. What else is out there?
She like smiles in that at that and just kind of starts going off on a tangent about great big octopuses that have come from the deeps and swallowed ships whole, and other fantastical tales that she just starts going off about, um, claiming that all of it is real. But nothing too important or pertinent to your current conversation or your current predicament.
I see. So the magic is in these grand hidden things.
She nods at that.
You said chiche, I think, on my end.
I'm sorry, you broke up.
What did she say?
She nods at that.
Thank you for your time. I will
She
be sure to visit again to inform you that the items have been.
she holds up out a hand and says, "My time is not free."
Her name is not Fermi, sorry?
She holds out a
Her.
hand and says that her time is not free.
You hear that I am cursed and need to talk to you about how to save my life.
She
Very well. How much are we talking?
uh she doesn't give any specific amount.
Suggested donation.
But you also know that it's
$1.
a fairly small place and you don't necessarily want to get a reputation of being a cheap bastard.
Or for being a flashy twat.
Yeah, or that. But you can be.
He'll hand her 10 Gerbs dollars worth of a coin.
She'll pocket it and nod and say you're welcome. And then she starts
Stony
grabbing
will head back to the
dictionaries.
ship.
Okay. To the library!
Da-da-da-da.
Alright, Tara, you and Amelia, you spend hours in this library, uh, going through a stack of books. You do find a couple interesting mentions of these dragon statues. Um, you know, and actually you find them. You find a couple mentions, nothing super helpful in an old religious text, and it
Remember, I made it by 5,
yeah,
not
I know,
3.
I
Okay.
know. I'm given in an old religious text, and it pretty much talks about how these are the great guardians of the different realms. So you've got 4 of them, and you find little sketches that they show Aura of the Great Wind. So it talks about he's the dragon that brings the wind to the skies. You've got Ceres, the Stonebreaker, and it's the god of land and growth and metals and caves and all that.
Yeah, my
Um,
boat's made of wood. I don't want to fight no dragons.
uh, there's the Lear, the god of the sea, or the guardian of the sea, and then Vulcan, the the great the great guardian of fire and heat.
That's the one I'm scared of.
And how each kind of represent each of the elements basically in their own way. So to have a fair wind, the idea is, it's aura giving you the blessing. These are basically, God's angels is kind of how it works. So, and they're all under command of in the Tuscan religion, they're all under like a sun god, like who rules over the whole dominion. But the Al Shakek and what you're reading is kind of the inverse. It's the great god of the underworld that is more important than the sun, because death brings life, but life only brings death.
Gotcha.
And but the real interesting thing is you find note about some history where all of these got locked up in the vaults of the Holy Church. And about 100 years ago, that vault actually got raided, and a whole bunch of stuff went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find one more entry in the books about Ceres, and it resurfaced about 30 years ago in an art trader, or an art collector, and it
Given the
has.
timeline still alive, or
I'm sorry.
given the timeline, how long ago was this art trader surfaced? Is it like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 100 years ago?
The art trader, that was like 50 years ago, and it seems to have been traded a couple of times since then, but you don't know exactly. Like you don't have it in these books where it is specifically.
Okay, which nation wrote these books?
It showed up in one of the richer colonies for not Tuska, the other one, Trael. It was a Traelian nobleman art collector who first picked it up, and then he died, and his kid sold it somewhere, and now it's kind of lost-ish.
But we have if it's noble, he's probably got a sales record. So I think that's our next step. We got a location for where this guy was.
Um, yeah, he was on one of the islands south of Shaishi.
Okay, can I cross-reference to see if the family's still there?
You can, in fact. You've actually got records up until like 10 years ago.
Okay, but so they're still there.
They are indeed. Um, I will also mention that there is an art collector on board the flotilla as well, who you would know about, but he doesn't really talk to anybody.
Hmm.
But you do know that you've sold pieces of loot to him.
Gotcha. I'm gonna smile at my compatriot there and thank her for her time with the research and uh, give her some of the books I stole from them, or actually pretty much all of the books I stole from them that are worth like reading, and then being like, I want these back after you copy them.
Oh, she smiles at that and says, "Then you can be forgiven of the books you recently," and she'll air quote, "borrowed."
And I'll give a nod, and then I'll go, I'll be back soon.
She actually smiles at that and says, "I look forward to your next visit."
And backing out, and then I'm gonna go see the art dealer.
Okay.
Where the hell is he or she?
Where did I put the art dealer? Oh, I put the art dealer up here. Did that ping you up there?
Yep. Pew!
Alright. Oh, I assume we can just bring Luke back.
Aye, aye.
Alright, let's say for getting some group cohesion back together, on your way to the art dealer, you definitely pass by Sanyo. He's popping out of a shack as you walk past. Um, and then as well, Admiral, you definitely see your daughter. She's got a couple of books in hand, and she's bouncing around the ship, getting to somewhere else.
This is certainly fortuitous timing. Any leads, either of you?
Yes.
Well, excellent. Where are you heading to right now?
The art dealer.
Why?
Because I have a lead and he is it.
Care for some company of Yerma and Sanyo?
My
Wait,
I kind of heard.
Sorry?
You just walked out her door like at the same time as she came out her corridor that I was walking down.
I'll when you say care for some company from your mom, I'll kind of like perk up, and then when Sanyo gets added, I'll perk right back down. Fine.
I have interesting information to add to this discussion.
Oh, I go. Where have you been?
Your daughter is right. We must return 4 dragon statues and the skull.
If people would just
Ah.
accept that from the start, things would go a lot quicker.
And so you got a lead on these statues, have you?
Mm-hmm.
I do not know.
The skull's safe at least. 4 of them in 3 months, and we've got to get them back to Al Shakek.
Yep.
Well,
So
lead
that
the way, child. Let's go.
I will walk them up there. So yeah, I walk over to the guy. His boat, I assume. Yeah.
Okay. So the three head that way?
Indeed.
Alright, so just to kind of bring everybody back together on the way, you definitely see uh Alfinic. He's popping out of uh, a shop with a bundle of arrows on his shoulder. And Grog, you are coming out of another shop aboard one of the ships. And you've got some of
Bird feed?
your crew, moving some barrels and getting ready to set off some ships when you see the Captain Sanyo and the rest of them, and they're heading kind of intently somewhere as a group. If you want to join them.
Oh yeah, definitely joining up now. Done shopping.
I definitely feel more comfortable
Ever?
if Brain damages near me
Because he's terrifying.
and seems quite loyal.
Awesome. Cool. And Grog?
If I'd see Grog, I'd. Oi, Grog, the sailors have got that there. Come on with us for a moment, please.
All right. He'll still bring the bottle. Ah, giant grog. Help.
Oh. Where you at?
By the captain. Sorry, I think I'm by the captain.
I don't see
Sonia, you already had a token up there.
I know.
I'm not seeing Giant Grog.
Are we here or are we at the wrong place?
Oh, there you are. Haha. Yes, that is where you're at.
Okay.
Wait, where?
I missed it entirely.
I was not sure if I was at the right place. I am a little bit.
Boom.
You're big confused.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so you head into the back section and you are greeted by one Theodore Knight, a very well-dressed man, and he is actually like writing some things down in a book. He's got some fresh crates that he's kind of going through. One of them's open, and it's a stack of paintings.
Did you say we'd dealt with this guy before?
Yeah, you've definitely dealt with him. You know, he's the guy on board who, like, you raid a ship and you find some artwork, a statue, a box of paintings, that kind of stuff, and you'll take them to him. Like
We'll have a,
he's good defense, that kind of stuff.
you got stocks, Knight.
Got what?
Stocks. Are you in supply?
He
May we have a gander at your shop?
he looks up at you and smiles and, oh, Annabelle, it's so great. What did you bring me this time?
I have naught with me, I'm afraid, unless you've interest in spice.
Ooh, spice. What kind of spice do you have? I've been in short supply. My rum has gotten quite.
All variety in total, £10 to be spared.
Ooh, yeah. What kind of spices? And he'll slide some of his current ledgers over, and he pulls open a drawer and he pulls out a book and he slaps it down and opens it up, and he's got, like a bunch of markings on stuff, and he'll start asking, oh, do you have any paprika or bay leaves? Oh, I'm out of bay leaves. Something fierce.
I'm out of bay leaves, something fierce in real life, don't remind.
But yeah, he's excited about spices for sure.
Quartermaster, I'm assuming you've taken a full stock of the spices we took aboard.
I have a look, and on his belt he steps on the counter, and he brings up a few flasks and pouches, some with the spices that he brought up. I figure it would be from Spain, right? So there's probably black pepper peppers, some other things from trading, paprika,
Well,
cumin, maybe?
actually, so a lot of this is coming out of like the Asian.
Oh, then I have no idea what he would be
Well,
carrying.
and to answer your question,
Anise. Yeah,
Mother,
you're not the quartermaster, but you having the spices here is actually good for
I'll
us.
look at her and go, no, because they've been there the entire time.
Oh, well, cook, do you have a good catalogue of those spices?
Alright. Not not really good of a handwriting, but this is what I got, and I'll tell him or give him a parchment with whatever I checked that was from the raid, and all the crosses from whatever he used on the last feast and the last days.
Theodore Knight looks you up and down, and then looks at the captain and says, "This man can read and write?"
One second.
Did you take? You don't.
No, I did not took writing.
No, you're assumed to have it unless you
take illiterate.
Yeah, I'm not illiterate, so I forgot that writing was a skill.
Well, no.
To write.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I wasn't sure how
something
bad it was
one.
Pirates that if you could even
Not,
write at
that's
all.
not literacy in general.
basically what he's saying is, you're literate and can read and write, and it is surprising to say the least.
Because if you want to be illiterate, that's 3 points you can just have.
And it's a very, very, very common disadvantage.
Good. Like if he could read and write. Not perfect, but some.
Yeah.
So then you want to take broken, or you just have to take your native language and drop it to accented or broken unwritten.
I only took native language. I did not took any others though.
Yeah, but what you do is you click unwritten, and you can drop that to accented or broken or none and get points.
You could get like an additional point.
Only if you're not at your disadvantage.
Yeah. So don't even worry about it. Basically what I'm saying is, this rich guy is looking at you in particular and is very shocked that you can read and write. Because you look as somebody who probably can't. But
he's gonna look him back with his messy beard and parrot on the shoulder and say, "Why are you looking at Grog? Is he too handsome for you, or what?"
he like smiles at this and like, I like this one. And yeah, he'll quickly go over the list and do little check marks next to what he wants to buy, and it actually happens to be like a good most of it. Like
Do we need another merchant check?
90% of it.
Boop. Boop.
Ooh, he succeeded real good. You can get it at prices just straight across.
Okay.
Okay, so can we do about £10 as well?
Yeah, he'll buy the lot of it. You also do know that this is like kind of an upscale sort of establishment, so he's got like a bar and like it's an art gallery.
Oh, nice. That's actually pretty good. That's a bigger haul than what the
The lumber came out too.
yeah.
And as we're dealing with the finances, because I assume everyone else is just kind of milling around, and then I am haggling with him.
Yeah, yeah. You
Looks
were
like Sanyo went into the shop at least.
you were
Walked right past him.
If you steal something, I swear.
yeah. Tara, you were pretty much dicking around with Price as he was going down the line, so you were involved in that whole thing.
As we're doing it, I'm going to mention, hey, do you know anything about ex-merchant or ex-art dealer guy that I'm looking into?
He'll definitely raise an eyebrow at you, and he says later. Um, and
Does he have some sort of big knives or swords and stuff like that?
yeah, I mean, there's ornamental stuff hanging up all around. And yeah, there's definitely some like ornamental swords and whatnot.
And what's this?
That is a very large statue of some
Of
kind of
what?
dragon. Of a dragon.
I mean, he's seen the drawing.
It definitely is not the statues you're looking for are more handheld.
Oh, bollocks!
Okay.
You bastard! Why did you put that there?
I did it on purpose
You are evil.
for just such a reaction.
Well played, matey.
So yeah, Sanyo, you walk in and you definitely see that, and you're oogling it for a second, but yeah, then you come to the realization that like you probably even look into your copied thing and like, oh, that's not it. These things fit in a bag.
Look
know
into
what?
my what?
I haven't made him a copy yet.
He made him a copy.
Oh.
He did that using secret rolls.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to give it away if you wanted to keep it more secret still.
I made it using secret rolls.
Yeah, that
Well, you took a blank book and the book.
disregard that. Disregard that.
You guys also didn't see me take the book.
No, yeah.
That's
No, we're not good at gaming.
anyhow. That's not the one. So you do finally get the haggling over with. Sanyo, were you doing anything else except oogling the statue?
Well, are there interesting handheld things in here?
Oh yeah, there's little paintings. There's like a little display case over here with a couple of like ornamental daggers in them. And
Does he have any hooks?
Any hooks?
Hooks. Fishing hooks, meat hooks, any hooks.
I mean, this is just an art gallery. There's a
Yeah.
painting of a man with a hook.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. He likes it, nods for a bit, and continues looking around.
But he will eventually lean back and say, "Ah, but Captain, you wouldn't have brought your whole crew here. Um, if you were just to be selling some spices. So, what brings you down here?"
Ugh.
Well, it's the daughter wanted to speak to you, honest.
All right, yeah, he'll look over at Castana and. So, you're interested in purchasing art?
I'm interested in the gentleman I was asking you questions about earlier.
Ah, yes. And he'll stand up and he actually walks over into here and starts going through a bunch of like files and books and stuff like that. And he's digging around for a couple of minutes before he says, "Aha!" And he comes up and he's got a book with like a few loose sheets of paper jammed in it. He'll come back to his desk and set it down and he starts going through it. Yes, these are the list of Brr family. They they were quite the noble house
Past
50
tense.
years ago. They made some bad purchases and other families have all but assimilated their holdings.
Do you happen to have? I'll look. Can I peek over the records?
Yeah, you can look over his shoulder. He's not trying to hide it.
I'm gonna look for corresponding sale dates if this is what that's what the ledgers are.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Do I need? What do I need to roll to find the corresponding?
Research.
Okay.
Make it like a research -4 because you're skimming.
I mean, if he'll let me slide in there, I'll just kind of.
Yeah, actually, if you say scooch and bump him, he'll give up his seat, smile at the at Annabelle, say, "Ooh, she's a fierce one, isn't she?"
Fiercely obsessed with reading.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Oh, those do not look good
Yeah,
with
that's
the scale we're at.
normally.
Yeah, I made it by 6.
Yeah, you actually find one notation about a purchase of a statue of Ceres. Made like 70-ish years ago, and the seller is marked as unregistered privateer.
So a pirate bought it?
A pirate.
Oh no, he bought it from a pirate.
Yes, he bought it from a pirate.
Okay, but there's no sale date. He didn't sell it again.
No, you can't find a sale date. But I assume as you're reading, you wind up pausing on that particular line.
Yeah, of course.
To which Theodore will be like, he looks up at Annabelle with kind of big eyes and says, "Oh, you have something particular in mind, do ya?"
Scribbling down the information in my notebook in the journal.
Mayhaps. We're looking for statues of dragons in particular.
Well, that's a fine item to be interested in. What piques your interest, Captain?
We want the collection for personal reasons.
He says almost jokingly, like, "Ah, you found the curse, did ya?" And then he goes back to his little filing box and he starts rooting around. For a while. He's he's actually like throwing books over his shoulder. He reaches in, he grabs another one, flips to another page, throws it over his shoulder, and he's doing this for a little while. If you guys would like to do anything or nope. Okay, so he pops back out with another book that I think I know of the statue that you were looking for. The statue of the Great Guardian series. I was actually bidding on that.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, a few years back when I was still a noble in Trael, it went up for auction in Patina.
how many years ago? And you wouldn't happen to know who won that auction, would you?
Yeah, it was he'll flip another page and he'll look down. Uh, 8 years ago, we were I was at that auction house bidding. And yes, I do know who won. And his eyes turn like fiery and squinty. And he says, "It went to House Reynolds."
does the name ring a bell?
Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I mean they're
What was this? Tuscan? Tralia?
Trael.
Trael. I don't know what minuses you'd want to give to this, but
Yeah, you know of them. They're like one of the major houses. They have large holdings throughout the country and the colonies. Um, tend to tend to deal in items of culture. So like a lot of their business is in like tea and silks from Shaishi. Like, but in general, they make their money as importers and merchants.
all right. I will, if he'll let me, I'll copy all the information from the book to mine. But
Yeah, he'll let you.
and then I'll.
You've been a massive help, Knight. I don't suppose you've heard word of any of the other statues. Or if you
No,
know exactly where the Reynolds are keeping this one.
well, I don't know, but I would assume it's in their great gallery. They they are a family of great wealth, and they certainly enjoy flaunting it.
we'll have to pay them a visit, I think. Might be we find our way here again with some other things of there.
Oh, well, if you do, and he'll mark down, or no, he'll actually flip a few pages, and he comes to there's like a painting, and it pretty much like it's a drawing, a representation, but it's basically like a painting of their family. Like it's kind of a family heirloom sort of deal that only they would have. And he tears out the page and he says, "I would pay dearly to hang that in my gallery here."
That's the fine prize, is that. Maybe we bring you this painting.
And then I'll also look. But we may need some assistance to get it to you. You wouldn't perhaps have parchment for official business, particularly proofs of like family.
I'm sorry, what?
So I'm looking for. I want to fake a family, like royalty kind, not royalty, but you know, like a family. What's the word? I'm drawing a blank here, guys. Help me out.
Heraldry and
Heraldry. Yeah, like the
Also-
correct paper.
Oh, yeah, Sanyo, you snuck about and no one said anything about it.
That's fine.
And Tara, you actually don't find, like, you find something that is a scrawled like heraldry of their family.
No. I was asking if he would have the paper for heraldry forms.
He
Like-
scoffs at you like, "No, those have to be issued by the royal family themselves."
So all I'm looking as far as the canvas, the correct kind of canvas, or
Yeah,
skin, or whatever.
It is a major crime to forge such documents, child.
I've done worse.
yeah, but Tara, you would know that like this is literally stuff that like what you are asking for is it's like American money. You know, it's printed very specifically, and you know, to get the right ink and the right parchment and the right markings, it's literally like the only place you can get it is issued from the royal family themselves.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anything else?
If he's no leads on any other dragons, then I'm pretty pleased with this one. Where is that island that he said, or the location that it was auctioned in?
You know for a fact that is the capital city of Trael.
So it's on the way to Alshkek, kinda.
Actually, not really. Al-Shakek is to the east quite far, and this is pretty much directly south.
Okay. It's depending on where the other ones are. We've not got time to be backtracking.
It's the only lead we have, Mother.
I will take it for sure.
He'll smile at you and says, "Yeah, well, if you do manage to obtain that painting, as I said, I will I will pay dearly to hang that in my art gallery." And then he actually points at you, Sanyo, and says, that dagger there looks quite familiar. Why don't you go ahead and just put it back, and we'll leave it at that."
What? I don't. What?
I'm sorry, you were sneaking around, right?
Yeah.
Did you swipe said dagger or
No,
no? Okay. Well, then we'll go back to you while you were sneaking around.
I walked
That
around stealthily.
that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Then no, he doesn't say that. And he says, can I interest you in a cup of wine before we go?"
I smell my mother and say, I think she's had enough.
Will people frown on me if I beat my daughter?
It's pirates. Don't think.
More specifically, it's pre-industrial, so no.
I want to be better than the pre-industrials, though.
Okay.
I mean, you can whack me. I'm a sassy bitch. But
I need like a book. Right, now the girl's gone. Have you got a book on like how to stop a mouthy brat from being so mouthy?
He kind of smiles. Well, my father used to make me get a switch, 'cause there's no trees around.
Fondle the hilt of my rapier.
He says, "Well, if there's nothing more I can do for you, I do have more work to do. Cataloging."
Aye, no problem. You've been a massive help, as I say. And we will be back with that painting, I'm sure.
He smiles at you and says, "I look forward to it." All right. So, anything else anybody would like to do?
Not much that interest of Grogbinder, so no. Here.
All right.
if at all possible, if there's sales for it, I'd like to buy some cyanide.
Jesus.
You keep that away from my food, young girl. Alright.
I, I guess roll a merchant to see if you can find something like that.
Or streetwise,
Or,
potentially.
or streetwise, yeah.
Probably be more streetwise than merchant.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You
You use some poison.
you wind up talking to a few people, and you
I
eventually
have a price for it, but I have to refind this section.
yeah you eventually wind up at the shack of the curse lady that Sanyo was speaking to.
Because it's available at this tech level and not that expensive.
Great.
Cyanide is $2 a dose.
Oh my god. Now what would a girl like you be wanting with all this cyanide for?
Murder.
She just shrugs at that and continues the sale.
I'll also, if she's got it, I'll also buy some cobra venom and arsenic.
She's got the cobra venom.
Awesome. I'll buy some of that.
And she's only got like 5-6 doses of each. She doesn't have vats of them.
I will take the 5. I will buy her out.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Just roll a d6 for each of them, and that is the number of doses she has.
Okay, so 3 cyanides, 1 cobra venom.
Cool. Sweet. So, any other shopping or anything anybody would like to do?
Well, I'm kind of just making sure that we've got the proper stocks and cargo from this point forward, but I'll do it as an in-between session thing, make sure we pay the right amount for food and shit.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, then you guys just wind up spending the next like couple of days refitting, letting crew blow off some steam, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're on a counter. How many days?
We
Are we gonna-
24 hours, I think.
Okay.
Because we've already been traveling for 5 days, and today will be day 6 of the death count.
Actually,
Yep.
let's do a new folder in all
I'm
players.
also hoping that maybe someone will come and give us some more information
Oh, right, feelers.
on the dragon statues in particular. I'll go back and see Lara and tell her that in particular we're looking for these 3 dragon statues. 4th one, we think we know where it is. And again, rewards for good information.
There we go. Everybody should be able to see that.
Death counter. Oh dear God.
Just add that in there to keep track of that. So that's counting your 24 hours birthed here.
Okay.
So when you guys leave at the end of this, it'll be 6 days. So
Does anyone show up with info?
yeah, you get a lot of like drunken ramblings and stuff like that, but not necessarily anything even really worth following up on. The one guy does have a story about a sunken ship somewhere around the sea that was carrying
narrows it
something like
down.
that. And yeah, he does not narrow it down very much, but he does know of a ship that.
So great, now one of these things is on a fucking shipwreck.
Yeah.
God, I hope he's wrong.
The myth is about a ship named the Minnow.
Minnow. Note it in the Dread Reaver. No, I won't. Not right now. Because I can't be bothered.
But yeah, other than that, he has it was a Trael ship named the Minnow.
Okay.
And I will buy a actually nice dress with this, because for my plan to actually work, I need some actual good clothing. I won't bog down the play, but can I get a fancy noble-esque dress?
Yeah, there's all sorts of, like I said, there's seamstresses, and this is a full on town. Like it's a town composed of people who didn't want to live under other people's rule or got chased away from living under other people's rule. Like there were many reasons to become a pirate, but yes, this for all intents and purposes is a town. It's just there's a lot more anarchy going on here.
But I could get
There's lots of nice ladies' clothes for sale here.
Could I get a status level 4 or 5?
You could. It's going to be at like a 20% markup from that particular price.
All right, we'll see if I can even afford that. But
just due to it being a specialty item, and there's not like a scheduled shipping, good shipping. That her entire stock is, hey, we raided this ship and we found a trunk full of fine dresses that we're selling to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there is no legitimate goods really. Like all the arrows that you bought, yeah, they were made by a Fletcher, but all his material came from a pirated ship.
Cool. Okay.
Because yeah, you're part of a small fleet essentially that kind of sails out of this flotilla. Like there's like 9 or 10 regular vessels that kind of operate just like yours. That this is where they fence their goods, come into dock. This thing is basically Tortuga.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll buy the status level 3 because that's all I can afford.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you guys are doing that. Anything else, or do we want to set sail?
Got to put it to a vote first.
Oh, right.
Oh, Luke, could you also put the actual rank stuff in the rank stuff?
What are you after?
The rank GURPS thing.
Oh, GURPS rules for rank. It varied depending on the size of the boat that's on, but I'll do it for hours. But new votes. So first off, initiates.
Right.
Are any of the new people? How many of them are staying?
Let's see. So, how much
We're
do you
gonna have to
tell them
keep all
about
of
the
them
situation?
to break the. We're gonna tell everyone about the whole situation. I think.
Okay. So, do you start with that, or do you ask who wants to stay?
I start by asking who wants to stay.
Almost none of them would like to stay, but
Okay, perfect.
Well, but the caveat to that is the ones that don't want to stay. Pretty much all of them would prefer to be on your boat to get off of this whole pirating thing as soon as possible.
They'd rather be passengers until I maroon them somewhere.
Yeah, they don't want to be part of this pirate flotilla.
I can understand that. I'm pretty amazing.
Like 4 of them actually like they pretty eagerly like cast aside their insignias and ranks and anything to do with the Tuscan fleet, and they're like, "Fuck yeah, let's be pirates."
Make a note of those ones, please.
So yeah, like 3 of them get off right here.
Oh, those poor bastards! If they go in to get straight off, I'll be like, "Hold though, you may be interested in this next piece of info."
They sit down and look.
And explain that we have reason to believe that we're gonna die in about 80 days if we don't return the skull and these dragon statues, and that the marks on our wrists are proof enough you all saw the curse happen.
All right, do me a favor and roll me a leadership.
Just get in there, sorry. Leadership is good, but I'm not that great at public speaking.
Do I need to talk?
I'm not really trying to give him any kind of fancy speech or anything.
Yeah, mostly I'm just trying to get a reaction modifier. So
When I see her stumbling over her words, can I chime in? and help out a little bit?
Sure. All right.
Aye, the girl says it true. Her words speak rightly what my mouth could not make out them lips there.
All right. So your crew reacts. Let's see, what's the book say about this particular reaction modifier? Let me go to the GM screen because I've got it.
God, there goes all my money.
Reaction modifiers. Okay. Okay, so your crew reacts, though not necessarily positively. You know, they kind of band together and they're like, let's solve this thing. Let's you know, we're a crew through and through.
Tis the spirit.
And the other guys.
And it's going to be dangerous, but I will point out that we stand to make a shit ton of cash off this because we're going to be robbing galleries and other rich folk.
Okay, yeah, they're into it. A lot of the Tuscan crew are begrudging to the idea, but they'll stick around. There was the 4 that were very interested, like pretty much ready to come to piracy anyway. Like that sounded awesome to them. But the rest
I
of
like
them,
those guys.
and then yeah, the 3 that were gonna leave are like, wait, what, curse? Yeah, if this is the way we get rid of the curse, then we're staying. So nobody's getting off the ship. But there's definitely that classic, like, you've just combined 2 crews and you get the sense that there's going to be animosity.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's seen Star Trek Voyager, it's going to be the whole integration of the Maquis and Starfleet.
I've not seen that, but I'm sure in Battlestar Galactica it happens with Pegasus in the
Yes, it's going to be very similar to that. Like there's going to be a little bit of headbutting. Like you can feel it. You can feel it in the back of your head.
All right.
So yeah.
Okay, next vote. Destination. We're going to get us the first of the dragon statues that we need. We have word that the Reynolds family has it. We're going to rob the shit out of their gallery.
You get a lot of eyes.
Very good. Any nays? Good.
Crickets.
So general proposal is passed, and then our traveler with us, Sanyo Al Sahab. He's already been through initiation and proved himself at boarding. I propose allowing Sanyo to join the crew should he please.
You get a few eyes, but mostly just nobody's voting.
Okay, alright. Then I would also... No, I'm going to leave off on that for now. You need to prove yourself to the crew more first. But proposing brain damage, or Al Finnick, as he is now calling himself, to officer, and Grog, Pegleg, to officer, for their bravery displayed in the boarding.
On Sanyo, there was one nay in the distance somewhere.
A strangely high-pitched one.
No, that was a good...
And that strangely high-pitched voice that wasn't high-pitched also said Jehovah.
But yeah, brain damage to officer and Grog to officer.
You get pretty unanimous eyes. Like,
very good.
You get the feeling that the eyes were of respect for that archer that just murdered the shit out of that crew, and the eyes for Grog was Mostly them just being terrified because he's the one who makes their food and is also enormous.
People respect OPEC. Like, good, good.
Yeah, well, it's more like you promote Alfinic to officer, you get a whole bunch of like cheers, and then Grog to officer, and you get a whole bunch of like, I.
He's gonna still be happy, like, yeah, people like rock.
Yeah, Alfinic will respectfully make a pose. Raise his bowl over his head and celebrate.
Very good.
There's cheer to that. They like you. They saw what you did on that boarding, and they're like, God damn.
Then that has it for the moment. We set sail immediately.
All right. So yeah, everybody starts getting to work. Sails start unfurling. When you say that, Captain. Crap. Where did I put it? Oh, there it
Captain
is.
Crap.
Yes, Captain Crap. Captain Armando like starts barking orders. All right, you louts, start unfurl the sails, raise the mainsail. Starts just barking orders, and then he looks over at you and says, "My apologies, Captain."
You're wise to have caught yourself there, sir. But then I'll turn and look, and hopefully my crew have not started moving.
Your crew haven't. The Tuscan crew totally have, and they stop before or right about the time they notice that your crew has not.
I'll just sigh as, well, you heard the fool. Let's get going.
All right. So, you guys get underway. We are actually going to leave it there. We've now been playing for about 3.5 hours. I think this is a.
Sonia did want to go find the petulant brat.
Okay.
Don't get poisoned.
Good luck with that.
Cyanide is terrifying, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
Child, you asked the question of that artifact dealer earlier today.
I asked a lot of questions. Which one are you specifically referring to?
You wanted him to provide you with documents saying that you were a member of that family.
Not that family, a family. I wanted the paper necessary. I can forge it myself.
Oh, well, in that case, very well then, child. Good luck to you.
Unless you got something over there, pretty boy.
Your mother has mentioned that my past before, correct? Before I showed up? That she knew me before?
Yeah. I kind of give that hand gesture.
He's actually your father.
I figured, but
Oh, I'm just making a joke.
Actually, it was, it is true, we knew each other before. She knew me before I was a nobleman. And now you ask, how did I become a nobleman if I was not a nobleman? And that is where I can help.
do you have the papers? I kind of squint my eyes.
I have the knowledge necessary to fabricate what we need.
I'll kind of give a bit of a nod, and we kind of look alike. We're of the same race. And, people be racist.
That's very true.
If you can get that paperwork all sorted out, I got a plan.
Very well.
I'll give a bit of a, that thing where you stand and look at someone for a minute and then go, anything else?
No, that is all. I will come back later with the finished products.
I'll nod. And yeah, so it was specifically looking, just any noble family out of game, not specifically theirs.
Okay, cool.
Just like a merchant, like
they're not very likely to go and have a chat with some pirates, but they might agree to meet with some noble family.
Yeah,
a pseudo noble family, like status level 3, maybe 4, but probably 3 with how much.
Well, and like one of the things Luke, and probably Sanyo, more so even, is that like in Trael, like they are definitely like a capitalist nation, and money talks. So like you can buy status, like you can buy nobility, you can buy titles.
Yeah, it's 5 points per level.
Yes. No. It in
I know.
yeah. Like anything that brings in a lot of money. So like if you're a really successful merchant, like you can become a lesser noble for money. So it's not a pure blood sort of thing.
Forge a family I know.
I'm sorry, what?
If I pretend forge papers that claim that she's part of a family I'm more familiar with, could I get a bonus? Because I know the way the things are so well.
Yeah, tell me what. Give me
Tell me what.
I'll tell you what. Sorry. Give me an area knowledge. For Trael at like a -4 for going
I have
so
area
deep.
knowledge question mark question mark question mark because we didn't the map wasn't labeled much.
Right. So
But
yeah,
yes, it is for a part of trail.
yeah. So for going a couple of steps less broad, it'll be like at a -4 to for knowledge of
This
the.
is already a less broad one.
Oh, okay.
It's related to my disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Let me look at that real quick.
The first one.
So from that family specifically?
Yep.
Okay, I will give you a +1 for the one success.
Okay, roll it now or wait till next game?
Let's wait till next game. That'll be something you're working on while you're sailing. I will make a note of it in my journal here.
I got a crit on the navigation as well, just by the way.
Yeah, you'll manage to get a perfect course.
Perfect.
Yeah. No additional time. Oh, you managed to take a little time off. Even you harnessed the wind quite well and managed to get an extra couple of knots out of it. So we'll say it's like 10% faster.
Cool.
Well, we can do some math stuff after the game, but if that's all the actual roleplay, it's probably a good time to say goodbye.
Yep. So we will end on a shot of the whole flotilla, and it kind of pans or zooms in towards your guys' ship as it sails away and breaks off and follows you out into and stays on a shot of you guys floating to the horizon from the perspective of the flotilla. And that is where we will end. I want to thank everybody for watching today and apologize about a possible technical issue. I am James, and I was the GM today, and we were playing Windraker. Today we had, in no particular order, Everoth.
Hello, mateys. I was Pegleg, good old cook, man. Glad to have ye.
All
I'm gonna
right.
make that man my husband. I'm gonna marry that man. Say hello to your new dad.
For about maybe a couple days, then comes the cyanide.
Oh
Stop
God.
poisoning my husband.
Next we had Jared.
Hey, I'm Jared, played Sanyo Al-Suhail. May also get poisoned 2 days after getting married. She doesn't want a father figure in her life.
Oh no, it would seem not. And we had Z Warrior, who got a new name.
Hey, a new name.
Do we
The
have
Phoenix.
to add to your that disadvantage? You know, add the person who named you in there.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like we should give you a new name every week.
That could be a thing. So I was brain damage. I am now Al Finnick, and I look forward to poking holes into people. The ones that deserve the holes.
Or you could poke me up, husband number 3.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of murder.
You are going to be the widow. Like, you're not going to be the greatest pirate. You're going to be known as the bitch who married people who die.
Oh well.
And that brings us to Luke.
Oh, Captain Annabelle Bernadette Bird. Cursed. God damn it. I'll fix this, don't you worry, crew. And we'll get Mighty Rich doing.
All right, and last but not least, we had Tara.
Hey, I played Costiana Bird. I am apparently a murderer with poisons. I haven't murdered anyone yet. We'll see. It's better to be safe. But yeah, I'm the
Better to-
bookworm.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after reading what cyanide does,
Cyanide don't kill people, poisoners kill people. That's cyanide for self-defense.
Yeah, exactly.
For when you've got 30 hogs.
Swarming into your backyard!
Oh my God.
Feral hogs made it.
All right, well, that was us, and we are the Kobold Cafe. Join us Thursday for Star Trek Adventures, and that one has gotten quite interesting. Check out the footage of that to see the plot twist. And then on Friday we will be playing Dark Visions. And
then other stuff will happen.
And then other stuff will happen. And then on Sunday you can tune in again to Windraker. Eventually we'll continue with Overmorrow, but due to certain global circumstances, we are unable to play that one at the moment. Thank you guys for watching.
Wait, you forgot
Oh,
one thing.
yep.
Catch us at Cobalt Cafe on Twitter. Our website is the Cobalt Cafe. You can catch us on Twitch at Cobalt Cafe, and then on YouTube, you're gonna have to search Cobalt Cafe and like and subscribe so we can get the fancy URL.
All right.
You don't need to like, just subscribe.
Yeah,
But likes help. You could like.
yeah.
There's no harm in hitting 2 buttons. It's 2 clicks. Don't
Or
don't,
3
don't
with
fear
that.
the strain. Or
I mean,
3?
that bell's annoying, so you can hit it
Don't-
if you want, but that
Do
bell
not hit
is
the
annoying.
bell. Do not hit the bell.
There seems to be a disagreement on the bell argument. Anyhow, that's us. Thank you very much. Catch us next time, and have a great day.